Hey there, and welcome to Scaling Up Your Impact, the podcast where we help therapists grow their skills, confidence, and impact. At Scaling Up, we're passionate about offering free content and support because we believe in the incredible work that therapists are doing in the world. Hi, I'm Kelly Smyth-Dent, the founder of Scaling Up, and in today's episode, it's just me, sharing thoughtful insights from our team and our amazing community of therapists. But before we get started, please be sure to sign up for our free weekly newsletter. Each week, we'll send you the latest podcast episodes along with related workbooks, tools, and tips to help you put your ideas into practice. You can subscribe either at scalingupemdr.com or you can find the link in our show notes. It's free and designed to support your growth. We're so glad that you're here. Let's dive in. Hi, friends, and welcome back to Scaling Up Your Impact, the podcast for trauma-informed therapists who want to grow their skills, serve more clients, and do it all without burning out. I'm Kelly Smyth-Dent, and today we're talking about something that's exploding in popularity, EMDR Intensives. If you've been curious about offering intensives but aren't sure how to actually structure one, clinically, logistically, and financially, this episode is for you. I'll walk you through some important things to think about so you can launch your first intensive with confidence. Before we get into the how, let's talk about why intensives can be such a game changer. An EMDR intensive is a condensed, focused block of therapy, often half-day, full-day, or multi-day format, designed to accelerate progress. For clients, this can mean relief from symptoms faster than weekly 50-minute sessions, a deep dive into processing without the interruption of time's up every hour, flexibility scheduling for people who can't attend weekly therapy due to work, travel, or life circumstances. And for therapists, intensives can allow you to do deep, uninterrupted work with a client, create more schedule flexibility and reduce weekly burnout, and open up a premium pricing option for your practice. Structuring intensives start with clear clinical intention. It's not just a long session. It's a focused treatment plan designed for a specific goal or cluster of goals. There are many ways to structure an EMDR intensive. Not every client is a good fit for an intensive. Good candidates are those who have knowledge of what they want to work on. So, example, a recent traumatic event, a particular phobia, performance anxiety, etc. They have strong enough stabilization and coping skills to engage in extended processing. And they can dedicate uninterrupted time for the work and recovery afterwards. Step 2, let's talk about the preparation phase. Don't skip this. Even for a one-day intensive, you may want to schedule at least one prep session beforehand to take a detailed history and identify targets. Ensure the client understands EMDR and consents to the intensive format. Practice and strengthen resourcing and regulation skills. Some therapists choose to build this into the beginning of their intensives, so explore what works best for your clinical style and your client's needs. Next, the day of flow. A typical full-day intensive might include 30 to 45 minutes of check-in, resourcing, and warm-up, 2 to 3 hours of reprocessing with breaks as needed, a longer midday break and for rest and integration during lunch, an afternoon block for additional reprocessing or closure work, and then a final debrief, grounding, and planning of next steps. So think of the day as phased, starting with safety and connection, moving into the core processing work, and ending with integration and closure. You can choose to weave other techniques like yoga, Reiki, or art therapy if trained in them, but it's not required. Many therapists that do EMDR intensives with kids use play therapy techniques throughout, so make the intensives your own while keeping your client population in mind. Now, before we talk about pricing, I want to pause and address something important. Just because you know EMDR doesn't mean you're automatically prepared to run intensive safely. Intensives aren't just longer sessions, they're a different clinical framework with unique challenges. Clients are in processing for longer stretches, so you need to know how to pace and titrate the activation. There's less time between sessions for integration, so you must be skilled in recognizing signs of dysregulation and knowing when to pause. The emotional, physical demands on you as a therapist are different, so self-care, boundaries, and structure become essential. And you also need to ensure that you have the clinical competency to navigate a client through multiple hours of processing. So there's less time and space to reach out to someone for consultation if you get stuck. Getting trained in EMDR intensives can teach you how to identify who is and isn't an appropriate candidate, structure multi-hour or multi-day sessions for safety and efficiency, manage your own energy and capacity, and handle unexpected situations when you don't have a week until the next session to regroup. And here's the bigger picture. Offering intensives without specific training can put both you and your clients at risk. Specialized training gives you the confidence to navigate the complexities, the clinical judgment to adapt in the moment, and the systems to make your intensives ethical, effective, and sustainable. At Scaling Up, we offer an EMDR intensives training that walks you through every clinical piece, clinical, logistical, and business, so you can launch with confidence instead of trial and error. Details will be in the show notes. If structured training is not up your alley, get one-on-one guidance from an EMDR consultant with experience conducting intensives. A great clinical plan can also be ruined by poor logistics. So here are a couple of key considerations in regards to logistics. One, the environment. Choose a private, comfortable space, ideally one that's quiet and free from interruptions, like your office or private retreat center, if that's your jam. If virtual, confirm your client has a private setting, stable internet, and the necessary tech setup for bilateral stimulation. Two, breaks. Build in real breaks. Processing for hours can be intense, and breaks aren't just physical, they're psychological decompression points. Three, materials. Have water, tissues, and grounding tools handy. For virtual sessions, make sure that the client has self-soothing tools in their environment. Four, follow up. Schedule a follow-up session after the intensive to assess changes, address any emerging material, and plan for future care. And then last, the paperwork. Use a specific consent form for intensives outlining the format, risks, benefits, and what to expect. Insurance doesn't cover EMDR intensives, so ensure you have proper billing notices and waivers. And consult with your state board and/or a lawyer to address any gray areas you need to clarify. Okay, let's talk about pricing. Pricing is where many therapists get stuck. So remember, you're not selling time, you're selling a transformational service that condenses months of work into a short period. So consider your standard hourly rate and then factor in prep time, integration follow-up, and the premium nature of the service. Market rates in your area, but don't undervalue yourself. Intensives are specialized work. The value of the outcome to the client. Example, resolving symptoms that have been interfering with life for years. A simple pricing model is hourly rate times the number of hours in the intensive, plus prep or integration time times hourly rate. Then round up slightly for the premium service. So an example, if you charge $150 per hour and offer a 6-hour day, include prep and follow-up, your base is $900. You might price that at $1,000 to $1,200 for the day to reflect the intensity, specialization, and transformation potential. As far as payment and policies, require a deposit to reserve the days as common practice. Have a clear cancellation policy with longer notice required than for regular sessions. And consider offering payment plans if you want to make it more accessible. You can set them up manually or use a service like Affirm. Selling an intensive is really about education and invitation. Education, help clients understand why intensives can be more effective for certain issues. Use clear client-friendly language and examples. Invite, let them know they have the option and that it's tailored for their needs. And then show, don't tell. Share research and case studies that demonstrate the process and effectiveness of EMDR intensives. You don't have to push intensives. The format often sells itself once clients understand the benefits. Offering your first EMDR intensive can feel really intimidating, but remember, you already have the clinical skills. This is just a different container for them. So start small, maybe with half a day format for a current client who's a good fit. Refine your structure and logistics as you go. With each intensive, you'll get clearer on your process, your pricing, and your ideal client match. And if you want to go deeper on EMDR intensives, including safety considerations and advanced strategies, check out our EMDR intensives training at scalingupemdr.com.